Hello and welcome to our podcast. My name is Rohan. I'm really happy to be here today. I enjoy talking about different topics that are helpful for our everyday life. I hope our conversation today helps you feel more relaxed and gives you some new ideas.
Hi everyone, my name is Sunika. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like Rohan said, we are here to talk about important topics that many of us deal with. These are real life topics, and we try to keep our conversation simple and friendly. I hope you find it useful.
So let's begin. Today's topic is something that almost everyone faces in their life at some point. It is something that can make our minds feel very tired, and it can stop us from doing things. Yes, today we are going to talk about overthinking.
That's right. Overthinking is when we think too much about something. It could be something from the past or something we are worried about in the future. Sometimes we keep thinking about the same thing again and again. And instead of helping us, it just makes us feel more stressed or confused.
Overthinking can feel like your brain is always working, even when you don't want it to. It's like a loop. The same thought keeps coming back. Sometimes it feels like we are solving a problem, but we are just making it more complicated.
Yes, and overthinking can happen to anyone. Students do it when they think too much about exams or their future. Working people do it when they think about their job, money, or responsibilities. Even in relationships, we overthink when we feel unsure or scared about something.
So today in this podcast, we will talk about what overthinking really is, why we do it, how it affects our life, and most importantly, how we can manage it. We will share some tips and simple ways that can help you deal with it better. So, Sonika, let's start by digging deeper into what exactly overthinking means. When we say overthinking, it's not just normal thinking or planning. It's like your brain gets stuck on one or more problems, and instead of helping you find answers, it makes things more confusing.
That's a good way to put it, Rohan. Imagine you are trying to solve a puzzle, but instead of looking at the whole picture, you focus on one piece again and again, worrying about it and trying to force it to fit. Your mind keeps circling that same thought without moving forward.
Yes, and overthinking can take many forms. Sometimes it's about the past. We replay memories or conversations, wondering what we did wrong or what could have been different. Other times it's about the future, thinking about what-if scenarios, possible failures, or things that might never happen.
Right? And this kind of thinking can feel very tiring because your mind is active all the time, even when you want to relax or sleep. You might lie awake at night with thoughts swirling in your head.
That can lead to a feeling of exhaustion, mental exhaustion, because your brain is working overtime without rest. And this tiredness can affect how you feel during the day. You might find it hard to concentrate or feel anxious and low in energy.
Exactly. Overthinking can create a cycle where the more you think about problems, the bigger they seem. And the bigger they seem, the more you worry. This cycle can keep you from taking action or enjoying life.
Now, why do people overthink? It's a question many ask. There are several reasons. One big reason is fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or even fear of success sometimes.
Also, some people want to be perfect. They want to control everything, so they think and plan endlessly. They believe that if they think hard enough, they can avoid problems. But the truth is, life is unpredictable, and overthinking cannot change that.
Another cause is low self-confidence. When people doubt themselves, they may overthink to try to prove they made the right choice or to avoid criticism.
And past experiences play a role too. If someone has faced difficult situations or hurts, they may overthink similar events to protect themselves. It's a kind of mental safety mechanism, even though it often causes more stress.
Good point, Sonika. Overthinking can also be linked to anxiety disorders where the brain tends to worry excessively as a habit. But even people without anxiety can overthink in stressful times.
Yes, so overthinking is very common, and it affects people in many areas of life. study, work, relationships, and health.
Let's talk about how overthinking affects us. We already mentioned mental exhaustion and stress, but there are more effects. For example, overthinking can reduce productivity. If you spend too much time thinking, you don't spend enough time doing.
That's true. Overthinking can also make decision making very hard. You might spend hours or days trying to decide something simple like what to eat or what clothes to wear. This can cause frustration and loss of confidence.
It can also affect relationships. Overthinking can cause misunderstandings. For example, you might interpret someone's words in a negative way or worry unnecessarily about their feelings. This can create distance or arguments.
And physically, overthinking can cause headaches, muscle tension, stomach problems, and trouble sleeping. When your mind is stressed, your body feels it too.
So it's clear that overthinking is not just a harmless habit. It can have serious impacts on our well-being.
But the good news is that we can manage it. Overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed with practice and patience.
In our next segment, we will share some practical tips and strategies that can help you reduce overthinking and live more peacefully. We will start with mindfulness and breathing exercises, which are easy and effective.
Before that, Rohan, I want to share a personal story about when I struggled with overthinking and how it affected me.
Please do, Sonika. Personal stories help listeners connect and understand better.
A few years ago, I had a very important exam coming up. I was so worried about it that I kept thinking about every possible question, every mistake I might make, and what would happen if I failed. I spent many sleepless nights just thinking and worrying.
That sounds really hard.
It was. And the more I thought, the worse I felt. I became tired, anxious, and lost focus on my study. I realized that my overthinking was hurting me more than helping me.
So, what did you do?
I started practicing simple breathing exercises every morning. I also made a rule to limit my worry time to just 10 minutes a day, where I allowed myself to think about my worries. Outside that time, I gently reminded myself to stop overthinking and focus on the present.
That's a very smart strategy.
Yes, it helped me calm down and study better. I also learned that sometimes I just need to accept that I cannot control everything, and that's okay.
Thank you for sharing that, Sonika. It shows that managing overthinking is possible.
Yes, and for our listeners, we will soon share those breathing and mindfulness exercises so you can try them too.
All right, Sonika, let's jump into the first set of techniques that can really help with overthinking. Mindfulness and breathing exercises. These are simple tools you can use anytime, anywhere, and they don't require any special equipment.
Yes, Rohan. Mindfulness is basically about being present in the moment. When we overthink, our mind is either stuck in the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness brings us back to the here and now.
Exactly. Imagine you are walking outside. Instead of thinking about all your worries, you focus on what you see, hear, smell, and feel. This simple shift can stop the endless loop of thoughts and calm your mind.
Let me explain a simple mindfulness exercise that our listeners can try right now. It's called 5-4-3-2-1.
That sounds interesting. How does it work?
You use your 5 senses to focus on the present moment. First, look around and name 5 things you can see. It could be anything: a tree, a cup, a light, anything.
Then what?
Next, name 4 things you can touch. Maybe your clothes, your chair, your hair, or your skin. Then name 3 things you can hear. It might be birds, a fan, or distant voices.
Okay, that's 5 things to see, 4 to touch, 3 to hear. What about the last 2?
Right. Then, name 2 things you can smell. Maybe your coffee or fresh air. Finally, name 1 thing you can taste. If you don't have anything to taste, just think about the taste of your last meal or a favorite flavor.
That's really simple but powerful. When you do this exercise, your mind stops wandering and you focus on the present moment. This helps reduce overthinking by interrupting the cycle of worries.
Yes, and you can do this exercise anywhere at home, at work, or even on a walk. It only takes a minute or two, but can make a big difference.
Another tool that works well is deep breathing. When we feel stressed or overwhelmed, our breathing becomes fast and shallow. This sends a signal to the brain that something is wrong, which increases anxiety.
But if we slow down our breath and take deep, long breaths, it tells our brain to calm down. This activates the body's relaxation response and helps clear the mind.
Let's try a simple breathing exercise together. It's called 4-7-8 breathing.
Okay, here's how it works. First, breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4.
Then hold your breath for a count of 7.
And now, breathe out completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8.
Let's repeat that 3 times slowly. Ready? Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Again, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
One more time. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
How do you feel?
I already feel calmer. This exercise slows your heart rate and relaxes your muscles. You can use it anytime you feel your mind racing or when you are stuck in overthinking.
These mindfulness and breathing techniques are great because they bring your attention away from the worries and into your body and senses. This helps you break free from the loop of overthinking.
Yes, and the best part is, with regular practice, these tools become more effective. Your brain learns to calm down more quickly, and you become less likely to get stuck in stressful thought patterns.
So, listeners, try to practice these exercises daily, even if you don't feel stressed. Building the habit is important because when overthinking happens, you will already have the skills to manage it.
That's a wonderful point, Sonika. Prevention is better than cure.
Rohan, our thoughts shape how we feel and how we behave. When we overthink, we often get stuck in negative or unhelpful thinking patterns. These patterns make us feel more stressed or anxious. But the good news is, we can learn to change these patterns.
Yes, and one common pattern is called catastrophizing. This is when we imagine the worst possible outcome, even if it's very unlikely. For example, if you make a small mistake at work, you might start thinking, I will get fired, or my whole career is ruined.
Exactly. And this kind of thinking makes us very anxious and stops us from focusing on the present or finding real solutions. So, the first step is to notice when we are catastrophizing. Just being aware can help.
Once you notice it, you can ask yourself some questions. Is this thought really true? What evidence do I have? Am I assuming the worst without facts? What is a more realistic outcome?
Let's take an example together. Imagine you have a big presentation tomorrow and you think, I will mess up and everyone will think I'm stupid.
If you notice that thought, ask yourself, is it certain that I will mess up? Have I prepared well? What if I do make a small mistake? Does that mean I am stupid? Probably not. Most people make mistakes and still do well.
Yes, this way you challenge the negative thought and replace it with a more balanced, realistic thought. Instead of I will mess up and everyone will judge me, you might say, I have prepared and I will do my best. Even if I make a mistake, it's okay.
Another helpful technique is to limit the time you spend thinking about a problem. Sometimes we get stuck because we think about something for too long without taking action.
This is called scheduled worry or worry time. You set aside a specific time of the day, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, to think about your worries. Outside that time, you try to focus on other things.
That's a smart way to control overthinking instead of letting it control you. During the worry time, you can write down your worries and possible solutions. After that, you try to let go until the next worry time.
Sometimes writing down your thoughts helps a lot. It gets the thoughts out of your head and onto paper. This can reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed.
That's a great point, Sonika. Journaling can be a simple but effective way to manage overthinking. You can write about your worries, your feelings, and also your successes and things you are grateful for.
Gratitude is important because it helps shift your focus from problems to positive things in your life. This balance can reduce stress and overthinking.
Let's also talk about problem solving. Sometimes overthinking happens because we feel stuck. Breaking a problem into smaller, manageable steps can help you feel more in control.
For example, if you're worried about a big exam, instead of thinking about the whole exam all at once, break it down. Make a study plan for each day, focus on one topic at a time, and set small goals.
Taking action, even small steps, can reduce overthinking because it moves you from thinking to doing.
To summarize this part, the key is to notice unhelpful thinking patterns, challenge negative thoughts, limit worry time, write things down, practice gratitude, and take small steps to solve problems.
Yes, and these cognitive techniques can work well with mindfulness and breathing exercises we talked about earlier. Together, they help you manage overthinking in a balanced way.
In the next section, we will discuss the role of self-compassion and how being kind to ourselves can reduce the need to overthink.